Let's do it, man. Welcome to the Just Incredible Liftoff Show. I always tell y'all, man, you never know who's going to slide through. I got my boy Armenian here.
My brother, thank you for having me.
To take a deep dive, man. We really going to dive into the project.
Yes,
You know what I'm
sir.
saying? I seen you been going. You've been running 100 miles per hour, bro.
Yeah, working, bro, putting in that work. But, but you know, when you love it, it don't really feel like work. You know what I mean?
How long was this project mean in the works, bro?
Bro, honestly, it's been a minute because we really started working right before the pandemic with Scott Storch. And then everything slowed down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So obviously we took long breaks and then kind of got back to it. You know what I'm saying? So it's been in the works for a few years. But, you know, to be honest with you, I feel like that might be one of the reasons it's so special. Like, I'm not the type to, like, go create an album right now and put it out next week. I know it works and it works for some people. Me personally, I like to ride around to the music and see, like, in a few months, am I still that excited about the song as I was when I just did it?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's, you know what I mean?
I mean, your music always has substance.
For sure.
Conceptually, you could tell you really take your time with both the art of the music and the videos. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I never get a rush from you.
Yeah.
And as a fan, I love that about you. You know what I'm saying?
Brother.
You really put your time into crafting it.
For sure.
And it's probably never. How do you know when a record's done?
Yeah, you don't know until I was actually I submitted the album and I was still making changes and hitting my distributor up like, yo, we can swap, right? Like small little things, ad-lib here and there. Yeah, man. But that's like, you're right. Like, you know, I like to like tell stories. I like to really, you know what I mean, make it mean something.
Yeah,
you know what
no
I mean?
doubt.
I like the joints, don't get me wrong, but I feel like a lot of times hip hop has become like just vibes, bro.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, we like the vibes, you know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong, but we also want that soul music, you know what I'm saying? We want that music that people hit you like, yo, this got me through this, and you know what I mean? This make me cry, and you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I got your lyrics tatted on me, like that means a lot, you know what I'm saying?
What's the record on the album that got people saying that, like put them in a different space on the emotional side?
Man, it's gotta be Hope. There's a record called Hope, and that's an acronym, Hold On, Pain, End. And I'm telling like real personal stories on there. You know what I'm saying? The first one is about addiction, and then brought it back to like my family and my cousin and everything. And then the second one is about a homie about a fan that became a friend and that passed away recently. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So this kid was at my shows when I just started. I'm talking about like 10 years ago, and he was like 10 years old.
Crazy.
And he started pulling up with his like parents and his aunts and like, you know what I mean? And it started becoming like every show they're there.
Damn.
And I'm talking about even when I have like 20 people in the crowd.
They're there.
5 of them is them. You know what I'm saying? So obviously we became friends and, you know, with the family, and we seen this kid grow up into like a young adult going to college. He was about to go to med school, and then we recently heard he had brain cancer and he passed away.
My heart breaks for that, man.
Yeah, my voice cracks up when I talk about it, but I added that verse last minute. This just happened like a couple months ago.
Amazing. God bless him.
Yeah, God bless
Him and the
my
family.
brother Josh Tarosian. Yes,
Shout out
sir.
to Josh, man. Man, I love that, man. I mean, I'm sure that meant so much to the family as well.
Yeah, they definitely hit me. Like, they asked me to perform at the funeral. Like, I'm talking about, like, it went deep. You know what I mean? I couldn't really do that, but I included them on the album.
Right.
And they definitely appreciate it. But, you know, people relate to these things.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? And being that the song's called Hope, Hold On, Pain Ends, like, you know what I mean? We all go through hard times and, like, but hold on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Talk to me about the title of the project, Mean.
Mean. So that's another acronym. So only 2 acronyms on the album. But
Right.
So Mean is really, it's autobiographical. It's really what everybody calls me first and foremost.
Yeah.
So when I was thinking of it, of like what to call this album, is like, yo, I was always into like deep, you know, double meaning type of, you know what I mean, titles. But I was like, yo, I feel like this can really reach the masses, and I feel like it's got to be about, you know, just more simple, but you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I want to call it Mean, but it's got to be more than just my name. So it stands for Manifest Everything, Avoid Negativity as an acronym.
Manifest everything, avoid negativity. I love that, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Really, because like, you know, avoiding negativity has become the key to life, to be honest. Like, you know what I'm saying? You feel that negative energy from people, from anyone. Yo, you cut that off, bro.
Quick.
You know what I'm saying? You cut that off quick, because they're going to hold you back. And then manifesting everything is this project is just really, I manifested it.
For
you know
real,
what I'm
you
saying?
did.
Like, all these features, working with Nas, having Scott Storch produce it. Like, it was all a dream. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I really been saying it in interviews. I've been talking about it. I've been talking to the team. I've been writing it on boards. I've been, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Talking to myself, and then it really manifested itself.
Talk to the people about some of the collaborations on the project.
Man, it's kind of ridiculous. So I got Nas on there.
Woo!
I got Offset. I got YG. I got Quavo, I got Method Man, Kabaka Pyramid, who am I forgetting? Jeremiah, French Montana.
Yeah.
That's kind of the bigger names.
No doubt, man. And
shout out to all of them.
How did you manifest all these amazing features,
It's crazy, bro. But, you know, throughout the years, you know, I've been grinding for a minute. It's been a slow and steady grind, like a marathon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And, you know, we build a lot of relationships. We have a very strong team that have a lot of relationships. So, and then, you know, when the opportunities came, I was ready for them. That was really what it was. And having Scott Storch produce it really helped, because I was really creating records. So when I was approaching people, or when the opportunity presented itself, people were like, oh, no, that's fire. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was introduced to all of the Migos, all three of them, by my partner, Alex. And first, it was Offset, and he was like, well, send me something, you know what I mean? Let me see first, you know what I'm saying? Like, and when he heard the record, he's like, whoa, nah, that's fire, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So Offset come to the studio to do that record. When he was done, I just played him something else. He's like, oh, this is a banger. Walked into the booth, gave me another one. You know, there's only one on this album, but I'm saying, like, this is how it was going.
It was cooking, yeah.
Like it was really like that. People were like loving it, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, it's relationships, it's having the right song for the right artist, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I pride myself a lot on, because a lot of the feedback has been like, yo, there's all these features, but how come he ain't getting lost? You know what I'm saying?
Right, no, that's because you killing every verse.
I'm killing it,
not
but also
taking a
like
bar off.
Not taking a bar off, but also I feel like I put them on the right records with the right, you know what I'm saying, in the right way, and getting the best out of these guys too.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Not getting like throwaway verses or nothing. You know what I mean? But honestly, they're all such professionals. Like, after working with them, I realized, like, you know what I mean? My man YG came to the first. I had sent him a beat. He's like, what else we got? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, let's go in the studio together. That's really my thing. I like to be in the studio together.
Hell yeah,
bro.
that makes a big
and
difference.
For 90% of them, I was. So we came in the studio. When he walked in, we had just created it. And then Scott played something else first. Like, what else we got? I'm saying, like, why he was being picky about it.
Okay.
Which is like a lot of times when you get a feature, they're not that picky. They just like whatever. You know, if it's a favor, if it's a bag, whatever it is, they just want to get it done and move. You know what I mean?
So what made this different?
But he was like, well, that's what I'm saying. He was such a professional that even though it was a favor and it was a feature, he was
had
like,
to still fit the feel.
He's like, let's get it right. You know what I'm saying? So then when we played him the beat that we had just created with him in mind, knowing that he's coming to the studio, he's like, that's the one. He's like, yeah, we all agree. You know what I'm saying? So that was like an example, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how it's really been.
It's important, and everything feels organic, and I think that's another very important part of the creative process.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you mentioned like everyone bringing their A game. Nas went crazy. He gave you like more than the 16 bars. Like he went
20 bars.
20
the whole
bars.
Nas story is just so crazy, because like, he been my favorite rapper since as long as I can remember. You
Crazy.
Since,
now you got a
Since
song.
I started listening to rap music, for some reason I was like, Nas is the one. You know, not for some reason. A lot of people think Nas is the one. You know what I'm saying? So throughout the years, you know, I've always mentioned Nas in interviews, and like just how such a impact he's had on my life.
Right.
Obviously as an MC, but just as my life. So so you know, I did a tribute song to him back in 2016, 2017.
Okay.
Called Letter to the King, and it came back around and he heard it. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
Years later, he
How
heard
did
it.
it catch his attention?
So really what happened is he walks into Cookies Melrose one day as a customer. Now,
Crazy.
you know, my partners from the cannabis world, they own like a bunch of cookie stores and a lot of other brands, but that specific store is one of theirs.
Right.
And, you know, a lot of artists and celebrities and stuff go there. Like, you know, it's West Hollywood, a lot of people smoke weed.
Yeah.
But nobody expects Nas to walk in as a customer. You know what I'm saying? So that day he just walked in. It was just him and I guess a girl with him. And my man Alex was there, and, you know, obviously he welcomed them and everything. And he's like, yo, with all due respect, there's this one song you really need to hear. And apparently he was mad cool about it.
Love it.
So he just plays it on his phone, you know, and we had shot a little video for it. Me and my man Kodo, you know, we went to Queensbridge and shot a little video. The first verse, it's called Letter to the King. First verse, I'm talking to Nas. Second verse, I'm talking to M. So then we went to Detroit, did the second part. But anyway, he watched the whole thing. I don't know any of this is happening. So I'm getting a FaceTime. I pick up and it's Nas.
Oh, shit.
You know what I'm saying? I pick up. That's exactly what I said. I pick up the phone and I see Nas's face holding the phone. I'm like, oh, shit. It's literally what I said. And he kind of like giggled. He's like, what's up, bro? And I'm like, what's up, bro? He's like, yo, I just heard that song.
Yeah.
I'm like, what song? In that moment, again, it was like 3-4 years before that. He's like, the one you did for me and M. I'm like, oh, wow, I'm so happy you finally heard it. He's like, nah, that shit did something to me right now. And he's pointing at his chest. You know, we chopped it up a little bit, and 3 days later, he came to the studio at Scott Storch's house, and we did it all together in the stew.
Crazy. You know what a feeling that must have been. The
feeling was crazy, and, you know, I always say that was the happiest day of my life, but really, it was the happiest day, not just because I was in the studio with Nas, but because the song came out exactly the way I would always want it. You know what I mean? Like, if I had the opportunity to do a song with Nas, this is what I wanted to do, because everything aligned, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, God was definitely in the building. Scott Storch was in top form.
Oh, this
you know
is
what I'm
magical.
Saying? Scott was excited, too. When I hit him, like, Nas is coming. He's like, hold on, you bringing Nas to the studio? Like,
shit.
Like, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
yo, I don't know what you played him, but he's like, I know so many people that try to get Nas on records that, you know what I mean, big money offers, like 6-figure offers. He's like,
ain't
nah,
just doing it
he ain't doing it. You know what I mean? You can't like buy a Nas verse. So he's like, he must really like, you know
fuck
what I mean?
with
Yeah, fuck with it. Yeah. So yeah, he came to the studio and it was just a very organic vibe.
I love it, man.
And we were both writing, and when I came up with the hook, he was like, yo, we should say some of those parts together. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm spitting the hook to him in the studio. I'm like, whoo. Blow out the candle of the devil. By the time the second one comes around, he's saying it with me already.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying? And he's hitting me like this. He's like, yo, we should say some of those parts together. I'm like, hell. So I was just getting more and more excited as I'm in there, because I'm like, oh, he jumping on the hook with me.
Yeah.
So then he goes in the booth to lay his verse. And then he's like, yo, Mean, come in the booth. Let's do this hook together once he finishes verse. So now I'm in the booth with Nas, you know what I'm saying? And we doing his hook, and he's spitting the lyrics that I wrote on the hook, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
And then he shouted me out in the outro. It was just a whole movie. The whole thing is a movie.
You got it on camera, everything on.
Of course.
Yes.
Yeah. We actually
Priceless.
made a whole little 5-minute documentary about this on YouTube. It's like, you know, it starts with me on the Wake Up show when it actually was on Power 106. It's like 2011, 2012, when I just started with King Tech, and King Tech asked me, you know, who's your favorite MCs or your biggest influence? I say, you know, it's gotta be Nas and M, you know what I'm saying? And then it goes to like 2016, me doing the tribute, and then it goes to him hearing it, you know what I mean? Like the whole story. So it's pretty crazy, man. Shout out to God's son.
Yeah, man. Check out, of course, the record, you know, on the project, Mean, right now, out, available everywhere.
Yes, sir.
Of course, The Letter to King. Do your research on that, man.
Yeah, it's crazy because ever since we dropped the Nas joint,
views been going up
on the Letter to the King song. If you go on YouTube, like all the comments is all new. Like, yo, we just found you, and this shit is crazy too, because that tribute is crazy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
for sure.
So yeah.
What's your top 3 Nas albums?
Man,
obviously we probably have similar ones, but I kind of want to know the order too for you. Like, what's your top 3?
It's definitely Illmatic. It was written. The third one I usually go back and forth, but it's still Matic for me.
Okay.
But Lost Tapes is up there.
Ooh.
You know what I'm saying?
Lost Tapes is up there.
Yeah, my man Code over there saying Life is Good. Life is Good is in a lot of people's top 5.
Yeah, for
it's
sure.
It's in a lot of people's top 5. But yeah, that's my 4, to be honest.
Give me your 4 one more time.
Illmatic, It Was Written, Stillmatic, Lost Tapes.
I feel it.
But you know, his catalog is so crazy because like all these King's Disease.
Well, he just put out these, what is it, 3 so far? 3 King's Disease or?
And The Magic, right? So that's 4 albums in the last 2 years. On fire. Like KD3 is definitely up there in the top, I don't know, 5, 6, 8. He got so many albums. You know what?
KD3 is crazy, man. Shout out to Hit
I mean,
Boy.
I love all of them, but it's crazy how each one got better.
Yeah.
Magic is definitely one of my favorites too. It's more like straight raw boom bap, like, you know what I mean? Just him. But one of the albums that, that I feel like is mad slept on is Distant Relatives with Damian Marley.
Crazy,
That's
yes,
because
sir.
I love that reggae stuff too.
Right.
I'm a big reggae fan. So, you know, that's one of my favorite albums, period. Like, that's one of them joints that I listen to all the time.
It's fire.
It's a vibe that you can just put on. You know what I mean?
Man.
Like, yeah.
We got to put the Armenian Hit Boy collaboration album into the
let's put that in the universe. You know I met Hit Boy through Nas, which is crazy because after we did the record, you know, he started embracing me and the team, and every time they had like events, King's Disease releases, when they won the Grammy.
Crazy.
They had like a little celebration dinner and they invited us.
You
And
was up in there.
it's always very intimate, you know what I'm saying? So, it's an honor to even be there. And then that's how I met Hit Boy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hit Boy kind of met me as one of Nas's boys. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy because we from Cali, you know what I mean? But Hit Boy is a really good dude. We talked a few times, but he's so busy also. So, when the time is right, hopefully we'll
No
see
doubt.
what's up with that. Yeah.
What's something people might not know about you, man? Like, what was some unexpected that people wouldn't?
I went to school. I'm a pharmacist. That's definitely one thing. People are like, what? You know what I'm saying? I went to school all the way with it. Graduated UCLA, then went to pharmacy school. All while I was doing music. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
And then I kind of realized, this is like an immigrant Armenian kind of thing where we were raised with the mentality of, that's all my mom really taught us. Like, you got to go to college. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah.
Even though you want to do something else, like this would just. So I was kind of juggling both. I always was really good at school. But then when I, graduated and worked for a little bit, I'm like, yo, I want to do this music thing and I got to go full on. Like, you can't do 1 foot in, 1 foot out in anything you do.
You can't, bro.
You know what I'm saying? So, but then when I went, full on music, I started seeing progression finally. You know what I'm saying?
Step by step,
all
right?
of a sudden, all these doors started opening and things started happening. It's all where you put your energy.
That's right.
Yeah.
You got them vitamin B shots on deck, man. I need to come fuck with it, man.
Definitely. I be injecting myself. Like,
you gotta do it.
Yes, sir.
You gotta live by them things,
yeah,
man.
Once a week. I mean, it gives you energy, boosts your immune system. It's good for you.
Yeah. I got my boy Armenian on the show right now.
Yes, sir.
We taking a deep dive, learning. People got so many questions for you, man. Your story's incredible. You've been putting in a lot of work, bro. To see this album come to fruition, what's next for you?
Man, right now the focus is definitely on this album. I feel like it's my, magnum opus.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And it's gonna live for a while, but I also understand the era we live in, and you gotta keep feeding them. Yeah. So I'm already, deep into the next one, and it's not gonna take too long.
Yeah.
This year I promised everyone top of the year, like, yo, I'm dropping. You know what I mean? It really started with our tape. We dropped our tape,
crazy.
the Just Incredible Presents Armenian tape in December.
For that, man.
Thank you, bro. We did that in December, right? 2022. And that was the start because I knew the album was going to come. I'm like, yo, we dropping this tape with Justin. Then top of the year, I dropped a few records off the album, build it slowly till now. We dropped the album, and I'm not going to wait too long to keep hitting them again,
No doubt.
But, it's just a constant elevation.
Every time.
Try to get on tours, really get out there. You know what I mean? That's really my goal for this year.
Man, thank you for your contributions to both of my Hunger Flow projects, bro.
Man, thank you for
having me. We go crazy every time we hit that studio, man. And
Definitely,
I'm always grateful, not just on the music side, but just being able to call you up, get some advice and
likewise.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
time.
We chop it up all the time, man, and I feel like, the energy is always special when we get together, bro.
That's right.
I learned a lot from talking to you, from watching you.
Thank you,
know what I'm saying? And Hunger Flow, when you said that's what you're gonna do, I'm like, I have to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying? And then,
man.
And then you ran it back a second time.
Yeah.
Man, it's been an honor.
You was one of the only artists to tap in on both projects.
Ones, man.
Both of them. And I got number
volume 3 coming. Let's go.
Top 3 Scott Storch beats, man.
Oh, all time.
Top 3 that come to mind.
Well, still DRE is, in my opinion, the greatest beat of all time. So,
Yeah.
And we got to credit Scott Storch on that, right?
No doubt. No doubt.
Last time I was here on the LA Leakers freestyle, I did Lean Back and I did the game song, West Side Story. But Lean Back comes to mind. What's the craziest one? You know which one I really, really love? The Roots and Erykah Badu.
I'm trying to remember the name of that one.
Who knows the name in the room? Somebody got someone. You got me. You got me.
You got me. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
That's actually. I think that they got a Grammy for that too. The Roots.
Yeah.
I know I'm missing a lot of them
There's
right now
because
I'm
classics.
just thinking. All the Dr. Dre joints are insane. Big egos. But yeah, those are kind of the ones that came to mind.
That's what's up. And how did you connect with him to be able to do a full project together?
Yeah, it was
because
crazy.
It's something that's like. You got to really be locked in to get a full project.
What really happened is, first I linked up with him through Steve Lobel, his manager. Shout out Steve. We working. He connects everybody.
Everybody.
So, somehow Steve always involved. You know what I'm saying?
He always got his finger on the pulse, man.
Somehow, always. Shout out my man Steve. But he started managing Scott. I don't know exactly when, but it was pretty new when he started managing him and he hit me or I ran into him or whatever. He's like, yo, I'm fucking with Scott Storch now. You know what I'm saying? Like, come get that production if you, you know what I mean? And I got a little budget together because them Scott beats ain't cheap. But at the same time, it was kind of the time, you know, he disappeared for a while and then with the help of Steve, he kind of came back up, right? So, you know, we was able to work that out. And I just went and got one record. And I was like, man, this dude, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like I love melody. Yeah. But he also worked with like MCs. Right. You know what I'm saying? He comes from the roots. So he worked with Black Thought, and then he obviously the whole Dr. Dre, Eminem, all that. So he understands what to do for every artist. Yeah. And then he works with the new, he did the Roddy Riches and the Chloe and you know what I mean? Like all the, so he just knows everything. So I'm like, yo, this guy can really elevate my sound. But that was just a thought. And then, you know, a year and a half, 2 years passed. And then, you know, I kind of got reconnected with him through my partners in the cannabis game, my man Alex and Mike again, because they like really, you know, locked in with him. So when I linked with them, they kind of like reintroduced me and took me to Scott and was like, look, this is really our guy. And we don't mean like just us, like our whole community is behind this guy. You know what I'm saying? Like we don't want you to we don't want to buy a beat or buy a bunch of beats. Now we want to lock in, you know what I mean? Let's make this work, you know, and slowly we made that happen.
Love
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
Love it.
They, you know, took care of it. One day, my man Alex called me. He's like, yo, just had another talk with Scott. We're doing a whole album.
Just like that, huh?
And I'm like, for real? He's like, yep, he's fucking with you. And, you know.
Let's turn it up.
Let's just work.
Love it, man.
Crazy.
That's the energy, bro. My man's project is out right now. Mean features on there from French Montana, Quavo. Nas is on the project. Method Man is on the project.
Shout out Meth.
Run the numbers up, man. Armenian, always a pleasure kicking it with
Thank
you, my
for
boy.
having me, bro.
Thank you for coming through.
Love.
You know how we do it. We going crazy on the radio, crazy in the clubs. Oh, all summer. You got some summer club records on this project,
man,
too,
yes,
bro.
sir. Featuring Quavo.
Yes,
That's
sir.
really the one, bro.
Yeah.
It just dropped a few days ago. The streams are insane already.
Come on.
But yeah, radio, clubs, summer pool parties, summertime. We outside this summer.
We
for
outside.
Sure.
It's how it's going down, man. Just Incredibles Liftoff Show. Thank you for taking a deep dive with me, my brother.
Yes,
That's
sir.
Armenian, and I'm Jay Creddy, man. Power 106. Peace and love.